welcome back to my channel. My name is Haylie, and in this video I am transforming this into this. Let me show you the fun process of transforming this piece of furniture. The prep work is the most important step, and so I am taking this wood cleaner that I got at Sam Levitt's when I purchased my couches and deep cleaning it to make sure that any dirt or gunk is removed. The next step is to remove the old hardware, and I am just doing this with a screwdriver, and then I am sanding the drawers lightly with a 220 grit sandpaper just to make sure that they are nice and smooth and that the paint has something to grip to. The paint that I am using is by Dunn Edwards and the color is Swiss Coffee. This is actually one of my favorite colors to put on furniture or even to put on walls in my home. I think it is the creamiest, most beautiful white color that also doesn't pull too yellowy, and I just absolutely love it. And the finish is a satin. After 3 coats, it was time to distress it, which is my favorite part. And when I distress things, I start with the edges or the corners, anything that's raised, and I sand those first. And here I am just taking a 180 grit sandpaper. You don't want to take anything too gritty, like an 80 or less, because then you're going to get a very scratchy finish. And you also don't want to use something like a 220 because then you are going to be using a lot of elbow grease. So I think 180 is perfect. And once I have sanded all of the raised areas, and in this case that would be the edges of the drawers, it's time to go to any paint spots where the paint might be a little bit thin, or if I have any runs or drips, and then from that point, if I feel like it still needs more distressing, then I will just pick and choose little areas where I think that it would look pretty to add distressing. This part is one of my favorite steps because it just really turns out differently every single time that you do it, and it is really fun to do on just different types of furniture because you never know what you're gonna get, and I love the randomness of it. Pretty much every piece of furniture that I flip, whether it is for reselling or for my own home, is distressed because it is conducive to a busy lifestyle, especially if you have children or animals, because then you don't have to worry about these pieces getting damaged, because if it gets nicked or if the paint gets scratched, it looks like it was supposed to be like that. And personally, when I flip furniture or I buy furniture for my home, I do it with the intention of keeping it for generations to come. And with distressed furniture, you can keep it for generations and you don't have to worry about it looking damaged or looking old in a dingy way. Instead, it looks like it's supposed to be there. And that is why I absolutely love distressing furniture. Since this desk was handmade, it has some warped drawers and they aren't the best quality, and so I'm covering that up with a decoupage technique. I'm taking this old dictionary from the thrift store. It's from the 80s. It's not worth anything and it might have ended up in a landfill, which is why I don't feel guilty doing this, and some parchment paper and Mod Podge, and I am just sanding the drawers right now and making sure that the surface is nice and smooth and that the glue has something to grip to. And then I am also wiping away all of the dust and dirt and making sure that there is nothing gunky or sticky stuck to the drawers. Once the drawers are prepped, I am taking this Mod Podge on a little sponge brush from the dollar store and just applying that to the surface. And once that coat dries, I did end up putting 2 to 3 coats on the drawers, and I just coated every single spot that I wanted the pages to be. Once the Mod Podge has dried so that you can touch it and it is not wet at all, then you are going to apply your book pages or paper. Do not apply it while the Mod Podge is still wet. That is traditionally how you decoupage items. However, it is going to leave wrinkles and it is possible that your pages will tear. So it is imperative that you wait for it to dry, and I will show you how it's going to stick here in just a moment. Once that has dried, it is time to lay out your pages, and so as you can see by the bottom of this drawer, I have a very random layout. Some pages are upside down, some are ripped. In some places you can see the holes because I really wanted that eclectic, lived-in look for this piece. And it is so easy. You just take an iron. I am taking this mini travel-sized one from Walmart. It was like 12 bucks, and make sure that it does not have any water or steam because that will ruin your project, and some parchment paper, and on a medium high heat you just iron those pages on, and what will happen is the glue will start to heat up and melt, and then it will adhere to your pages without being too wet, and it almost creates like a sticker on the back of your pages. And then when that is finished, and once you have all of your pages ironed on, then you can seal everything with either another layer or two of Mod Podge, or you can use a water-based polyacrylic. For this section on the drawers, I only did one coat of Mod Podge, and that was a big mistake because as you can see on this little piece in the center here, it is not sticking because it doesn't have a thick enough layer of Mod Podge. So be sure to use at least 2 to 3 coats of the glue when you are first applying it, because one is definitely not enough. And then I am just taking this kitchen knife, I didn't have an X-Acto knife, and I am cutting the pages where they're not glued down. As you can see, whenever I applied my top coat of the Mod Podge, it left a few bumps and a few wrinkles, and that is totally fine. All you're going to do is wait for it to dry, and once that has dried, you're going to take your parchment paper and lay it on top and iron out all of those wrinkles. For the knobs, I wanted to do a very funky mismatched look, and so I purchased these from Hobby Lobby. They were all half off, and the way that I'm putting them on is I have linked them based on size and color, and I'm trying my best to balance it out. So here in this corner I have the B, and in the opposite diagonal lower corner I have that star because they are the same size and the same finish. Then in this corner I have this crystal floral piece, and in the opposite bottom corner I have that round one because it is similar in shape and color, and I am just trying my best to balance them out, and that is how you can create a cohesive look even if your knobs don't match. So what do you think? Do you like the desk? I really love it. I think it turned out so cute and unique. When you have been flipping furniture for as long as I have, you start to learn a little bit of a signature style that you kind of gravitate towards, and for me that is distressed, either white or gray paint, two-tone colors. So in this case we have the white and the wood along the exterior, and then also just little funky eclectic pops. So sometimes I will do rub-on transfers, or sometimes I will decoupage the inside of some drawers if they need some kind of camouflage or if they're kind of gross, which I did in this case. And then also sometimes I do mismatched knobs, and that is my favorite thing to do. I just think it is so much fun, and it really adds some character to a piece that maybe doesn't have that much character. And so this piece is probably my favorite one that I've done in a really long time, because it kind of blends all of my signature things into one piece, and I just really love it. And I kind of don't want to sell it, but like, where am I supposed to put it? My house is a complete disaster. It is filled to the brim with things right now, especially because I'm planning my wedding and I have all my wedding stuff. So yeah, if you got anything from this video, then be sure to comment down below. If you absolutely hate what I did, you can comment that down below if you want, but what's done is done. I think it turned out so beautiful, and I am so excited for it to find its new forever home. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps me out, and it is completely free, so that you can see my next furniture flips that I do and come along with me in my antique booth and see what I'm doing with that. And then also I am planning my wedding, like I said, so I have a lot of wedding videos, and I have a lot more coming up in the near future. So if that sounds interesting, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a video from me. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!